After the unveiling of the G70 Shooting Brake earlier in the year, Genesis debuted the production version of its first ever wagon model at the 2021 Goodwood Festival of Speed in England. For those of you who are not familiar, the festival is an annual hill climb competition featuring historic motor racing vehicles, held on the grounds of Goodwood House in West Sussex. Here, Genesis G70 Shooting Brake flaunted its beautiful new body shape, and ran the 1.16-mile course in midst of the equally beautiful race cars that set automotive history from all eras, from F1 to NASCAR. Back in 2019, the upstart Korean luxury automaker Genesis changed the history of automobiles by becoming the first Korean maker to be awarded the prestigious MotorTrend Car of the Year. Genesis' attempt to create its very first rear-wheel drive sports sedan to compete against the benchmark BMW 3 Series was met with very skeptical eyes when the announcement was made, but with the help of the great Albert Biermann, who came from BMW to work his magic, really did wonders in delivering one of the finest crafted automotive engineerings in recent years. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that it was G70 that put Genesis on the map, allowing the new Korean brand to be discussed in the same light as the Teutonic automakers. Sure, Genesis had the previous G80 and the current G90, but they were just rebranded Hyundai that was carried over to the new luxury division upon its creation in 2015. Therefore, we would say that the G70 is probably the most important product for Genesis. Of course, with the SUV craze that's dominating the car market, it's not going to be a sales leader like the newly introduced GV80 and GV70, but no one can deny the importance of the compact sports sedan that started it all. So important that Genesis has chosen the G70 to be the marquee model for its attempt to break into the market that gave birth to luxury sports sedans. Genesis is taking another shot at Europe to rewrite history in its efforts to become the first non-European luxury maker to truly garner a firm position in the luxury auto market. And as such, Genesis has seen fit to introduce the first ever Europe-specific model in its short history. The G70 Shooting Brake is not all new, but it still exudes a kind of sporting aura and exclusivity that has never been seen in the brand before. As the name suggests, the beautiful shooting brake version of the G70 is based on the facelifted G70, which was just introduced in 2020, that features the once controversial yet now signature split headlight and taillight that everyone loves. The wagon retains the G70 sedan's wheelbase of 111.6 inches or 283.5 centimeters but offers 40% more interior space, while offering 40-20-40 rear split folding second row, which is a unique European feature. The European wagon is to be powered by a quintessential for Europe, 2.2-liter turbo diesel engine that develops 200 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque, as well as a familiar 252 horsepower 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder gasoline engine. Unfortunately, it does not receive the mighty 365 horsepower 3.3-liter V6. For your information, that engine, however, will continue to be offered on the North American version of the newly facelifted G70 sedan, along with the same 2.0-liter gasoline engine unchanged from the previous model. To console the loyal followers for not offering the shooting brake in the US, Genesis is offering a special edition G70 sedan for the US market. Limited to 500 units, G70 Launch Edition features an exclusive white or gray matte exterior, with a striking red interior that's lifted from the European G70, and black alloy wheels. So, Genesis has decided to give a more stylish offering to Europe with a more practical diesel power plant instead of the gas-guzzling V6. In some make-believe world, one could wish for a G70 shooting brake with the turbo V6 power, but at least in Europe, it will receive a couple of big-powered Genesis models ahead of the US. Namely, the Electrified G80, which will come with 368 horsepower and 516 pound-foot of torque from its dual motor, all-wheel drive setup. When it arrives in late 2021, the EV version of the G80 sedan will achieve 0 to 100 kilometers or 0 to 62 miles per hour in blazing 4.9 seconds, with a recharge time of only 22 minutes thanks to the 800 volts charging architecture. The maximum range is expected to be 265 miles. If this big sedan is more than what is needed, there is the upcoming GV60 dedicated electric crossover that will come with up to nearly 600 horsepower, similar to the platform-sharing EV6 GT that achieves 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.5 seconds with a recharge time of 18 minutes and the maximum range of 300 miles. However, unlike the EV6, which has been developed with more North American consumers in mind, the GV60 is being prepared with a focus on satiating the European palate. Everything from the coupe-like exterior that's more compact, the interior that evokes classic European cars, and the driving dynamics, the GV60 seems to have Europe squarely in its sight. Furthermore, Other cars in the global lineup such as the G70 sedan, G80, GV80, and the latest GV70 crossover will be available in Europe as well, with the top of the echelon large vehicles such as the G90 sedan being available through the company's bespoke program. Newly formed Genesis Europe will be based in Germany, and will begin its operation in Germany, having hired former Audi sales boss to oversee the entire operation. The UK and Switzerland will be two other countries that will be included in the initial operation, employing a boutique concept in selling with personal assistant attending to every customer's needs, providing concierge service where they come to you to pick up and drop off the car while your car is being serviced. You can find out more about Genesis's unique European operation in the presentation that will follow. With unique selling and service strategies and dedicated European models such as G70 Shooting Brake, it seems like the Korean luxury brand is taking this venture very seriously. Would the experience that they have garnered in selling luxury cars in North America be good enough to establish itself as a bona fide brand in Europe? Kind of feat that none of the non-European brands were able to accomplish? Only time will tell. However, our feeling is that Genesis needs to find their own niche or territory that the other more established European makers weren't able to conquer yet, like Tesla was able to accomplish with its high-tech electric vehicles. Therefore, starting off the brand with the advanced 800 volts electric cars like the Electrified G80 and the GV60 seems like a prudent move. After all, no other markets have more propensity to plunk their hard-earned euros into innovative electric cars than in Europe, as seen in the success of the vehicles like Ioniq 5 and EV6, selling at prices well above what could be considered reasonable in North America. Finally, the European G70 Shooting Brake model will start from around £35,000 or €35,000 in Germany when it's launched in late 2021. What are your thoughts about the new Europe-only Genesis G70 Shooting Brake? Please vote and share your views by clicking on the link in the comment section after watching the following feature presentation from Genesis Europe. Thanks for watching AutoVision, your best source for the fastest Korean car news and rumors. Your commenting and liking are also appreciated, along with your suggestion and criticism that helps us to improve. We try our best to respond to every one of your comments. Finally, we have a favor to ask our loyal viewers. Although you might still be able to access our videos without subscribing to our channel, your support by subscribing and clicking the alarm bell will be very much appreciated. See you next time with the latest Korean car news.